What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at this 2022 BMW X7 M50i. Huge shout out and thank you to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this X7 for today's video. Definitely check them out, I'll have them linked down in the description below. So this is BMW's jumbo SUV with the most performance. Let's get right into it. And the model that we're looking at today is finished off in black sapphire metallic and has an MSRP at $109,000. Underneath the hood of the X7 M50i, this utilizes the twin-turbocharged 4.4 liter 8-cylinder engine. It cranks out 523 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. The engine is only paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission and sends the power to all four wheels through the xDrive all-wheel drive system. And with a curb weight around 5,400 pounds, you can still expect 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds flat, a top speed at 130 miles per hour, and then running on a 21.9 gallon fuel tank, you're looking at 15 miles per gallon in the city with 21 out on the highway. The overall length is 203.3 inches with wheelbase at 122.2. Width is 78.8 and height is 71.1, and the minimum ground clearance is 8.7 inches. If we go ahead and take a look at the exterior styling with the X7 M50i, this has a lot of performance touches to the way it's styled. Up front, we have the massive kidney-shaped grills finished off in a black chrome and gloss black. They feature vertical slots within them as well as active grille shutters to improve aerodynamics when needed as well as cooling. It also features a forward-facing camera right in the center, and then you're going to notice 6 parking sensors within this front bumper. There's a safety sensor in the lower grille, and then a huge area in the center to allow more cooling to the radiators, and it has a nice mesh design. On the farthest sides of the front bumper, you're going to see more openings for better cooling, as well as a cutout to allow air to enter the bumper and pass through out around the front tires. You'll see a lot of sharp lines in the front bumper to give this a sporty design, and then you can also see the LED fog lights down below. This features BMW's laser headlights with the daytime running lights integrated into the lower portion. They light up in white and have a really classy design, and you're also going to see some blue accents within these headlights. You get a large BMW logo up front and then really clean and sharp lines running all the way towards the windshield. And then moving to the side profile, you'll see how these front fenders bulge outward to give it a wider appearance, and we also get a set of body-colored fenders. This X7 has a set of 22-inch wheels in all 4 corners, finished off in a two-tone machine silver metallic gray, and you can see the bright blue painted calipers behind them. They contrast very well against the paintwork as well as the wheel choice. Behind the front tires, you're going to see a nice black trim piece that has a really aggressive look, and then in the lower portion of the side skirt, there's even another safety sensor. The X7 has a fantastic overall design from the side, very proportional, and you can tell it's a much larger SUV comparing it to its smaller sibling, the X5. We get a set of body-colored door handles and body-colored mirror caps with an integrated camera as well as the LED turn signal all built into it. There's more black trim all around the windows to really blend everything together, and then up top we get blacked out roof rails as well as the panoramic roof. And then moving to the rear end, you can see the shark fin antenna as well as an integrated spoiler mounted to the top of the liftgate. We have LED taillights back here finished off with red housings and that same black chrome trim connecting the two, giving it a nice classy design in back. We have a similar color along the X7 badge as well as the M50i badge, and your BMW logo right in the center with the backup camera underneath that. There's some more sharp lines all throughout this rear tailgate, and then you can see the rear bumper with 6 more parking sensors, gray trim, as well as blacked out exhaust tips, and the rear end just comes together, giving this a perfect design in back. So there's a good look at the exterior as well as some of the specifications for the X7 M50i. This is a sweet SUV and I love the way it looks. We have BMW's key fob. If I tap the BMW logo, we can go ahead and lock the vehicle, and then all I have to do is grab the door handle. It's going to automatically unlock and we can check out this really nice interior. This particular X7 has a Tartufo Marina leather interior. If you go ahead and take a look at the door panel now, you can see the two-tone color with the black leather as well as this brown color. There's black stitching running on everything, and we even get some ambient lighting on this aluminum colored trim piece. There's some good padding for your arm as well as your grab handle. Then we have the controls for the windows, the mirrors, as well as the power liftgate in back. This does also have memory seating and massaging seats, and you can press these icons to even get the second row out of the way for better access to the third row. We have your release handle and lock and unlock, and then part of the Harman Kardon audio system. There's a little bit of storage and a cup holder, And then moving inside, we have M50i written along this aluminum door sill, and then power controls on the left of the seat. You can see everything right on this left. We have lumbar support, bolster adjustments, and you even have an automatic button for the automatic leg rest. Really cool touch to see. And then we have your recline lever, and you can even press this extra button, and it makes the top portion rotate independently from the lower portion. You can see how they're finished off in this beautiful brown color. We have perforated leather in the center with a really cool stitching design, all brown stitching in the center, and then black stitching to the farthest sides, and a really cool design running our way up. Really nice looking headrest, and then spinning around to the black leather steering wheel with aluminum accents. And then now inside the X7, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. We have the comfort access, so the steering wheel is going to automatically get into its new position, same with the seat. Then we have a full LCD display for your gauge cluster. You can see the navigation screen right in the center. We have a tach to the right, as well as the engine temperature, and the speedometer and fuel level over on the left. If you tap the BC icon over on this left steering wheel stalk, you can see the right screen will change. We have some trip information, then you can continue to scroll through. You have a power meter, your G-force meter, you can also see different radio that'll come up. Then we have your normal drive mode as well as the gear. To switch your drive modes, we have the buttons over here. We have the Eco Pro, Comfort, and Sport. When I go ahead and toggle these icons, it changes what you see. You can see we have a blue accent color right now for this Eco mode with an MPG gauge over on the right rather than a tach. Going into Comfort, it gets a little bit more traditional, and then going to the Sport mode, it gets a little bit more performance oriented. Along the steering wheel, we have the BMW logo with some nice leather and stitching, all the cruise control settings and lane keeping to the left, heated steering wheel down below, and then Bluetooth and audio over on the right. We also get a set of steering wheel mounted paddle shifters that have a pretty good look and feel. They're about 3 or 4 inches and they are plastic, but they do fit very nicely. And then to the left of the steering wheel now, we have all of your headlight controls, and then we even get an automatic adjustment for the steering column, then some wood grain trim and some air vents, and then black leather all along this dashboard with heads up right in the center. You can see part of the audio system, and then more black leather going across the dashboard, and then more of this wood grain trim across the dash as well. And then if we move to the infotainment screen right now, this is a huge screen, over 10 inches, has a really good look, and it fits the dashboard very nicely. It's not just stuck on. This screen is not touchscreen, however, we have controls over on the right that you can control everything. We have a rotary dial you can spin, you can bump it left, right, up, and down, and then we have shortcuts all around. So if we take a look at the screen now, tapping the home icon, it gets you right to this main screen. I can bump this over, and you can see all the different things we have. We have a lot of different menus that you can configure, so a good view of pretty much everything in this car. And then bumping it over, we can scroll through. We have media that can come up for the main screen. I can hit the back button, and then continue scrolling down to different things. Going under car now, you can see vehicle status and a few other things in here. Going back, we have your apps. We do get Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You can see everything in this main screen now. And then if I go ahead and take the car and put us into reverse, the standard backup camera will come up along with a top-down view. You get a really good view around this car. You can even see the curb that's right in front of me. And then if I scroll over, you can see the 3D parking view. You get a really good view all around. And just by spinning the dial down here, it'll correspond to the one on the right screen, and we can get a good view all the way around this car. So great to see, especially in a larger SUV. Parking sensors are also in that screen. Then if I tap the P, we're back into park. If I tap this icon right here, this goes into safety settings. You can see your configure individual for everything that'll come up. And if I go ahead and scroll over to configure, you can see everything for the forward collision, side collision, lane departure, and things like that. Beneath that screen, we have your LCD screen for all the climate controls. You can adjust your dual zone for fan speed as well as the temperature, and then you also have your different zones you can adjust. I like how you do get that nice screen to see everything. Heated and ventilated seats, all the defrost, and more controls. And then down below, we have all these settings for the radio with different presets, track, tuning, as well as the volume on-off. And then in the center console, we have this really cool matte finish wood trim that you saw on the dash. Just pushing this out of the way, we can see 2 cup holders, and they are heated and cooled, which is a great touch, especially for a luxury vehicle. There's a 12 volt up here, and then a spot you can place your phone or also use this credit card designed key, which is really cool. You don't always have to have your key fob with you, especially if you're going somewhere, maybe like swimming or something like that, where you don't want the big old key fob. Closing that now, we can get a better look of everything. This has the crystal design for the center shifter. You can see the X logo in it, and that glass look looks very nice. We have the same thing with the start stop button. And then to the left, we have your traction control, a shortcut to camera and parking sensors, all of the drive modes, brake hold, hill assist, and this does feature an adaptive air ride suspension. You can toggle it lower, and then you can toggle it all the way up into the off-road mode. And then of course the controller on the right. If we take a look at the center, we have your nice armrest finished off in this brown leather, and just pressing this forwards button, these open up individually, and we have a lot of space in here for different items. We do get a USB port in here, and then you can close these independently, that way you still have access even when one is open. And then moving over to the right side, taking a look at the glove box, we have a normal amount of space in here as you would expect. And then one last look at the interior, really clean design. I especially love the black and brown accents, and then all the silver, and then the wood trim. Definitely a very upscale SUV for the family. And then up top, we have a full Alcantara headliner and the panoramic sunroof. You can see it go all the way back to the third row. I really love how there's even stitching along the sun visors. Has a really premium design with the Alcantara. We have your sunroof controls as well as the LED dome lights. And then onto the second row, I can open up the door. The interior door panels finished off just like we saw up front with all the two-tone colors. We even have power controls for the sunshades that are integrated into this door, as well as the sunroof itself, which is really nice to see. Taking a look at these seats now, we get captain's chairs for the second row. We have power controls on the left for recline, forwards and back. We get some amenities back here. You can add TVs for the rear. We get some cargo areas behind the front seats. And then climate controls in the center with air vents and LCD screen, all the different controls, heated seats and storage. And we get 2 cup holders down here with USB ports as well as a 12 volt. Alright, so sitting now in the back of the X7. So this is BMW's first time they've really made a full-on third row vehicle. They did offer a third row in the X5 for a little bit. USA market didn't really see that too much. But with all the controls over on this left side, I can recline the seat quite a bit. I'm 5'11" sitting back here, and with it all the way reclined, this is a nice place to be. I have like 7 inches of headroom, and then my knees are fitting really well with the driver's seat set at my height. And then I like how we get the armrest right here. You can lock it in different locations. You can hear it click in all the different positions. So really cool the way they've designed that. And then if I go ahead and step out of this seat, the lever on the backside right here, if I go ahead and grab it and pull the seat forward, it's gonna get this seat out of the way and even slide this seat out of the way to enter into this third row. All right, now sitting into the third row with the X7. So far, this is actually pretty roomy. I'm fitting back here, and it's a full-size seat. My knees are nice and level. They're not crazy up by my chest like a smaller vehicle would have. Armrest is in a great place. And then if I go ahead and pull this seat back, it's gonna automatically slide back into the position that it was. So if I can move this headrest up real quick, I'll just go ahead and slide over here. Sitting back here, even with the second row up, my knees fit perfectly. So it is a usable vehicle. I really like how BMW made this a full-size SUV to genuinely fit the third row. And along with that, we get your own sunroof up here, dome lights, all of your climate controls with heated third row. That is super cool to see. We have air vents back here as well, and a pretty good sized window to make this feel pretty comfortable. Now there's not really enough room to slide out of the car through the center row, so you just grab this lever and push the seat forward, and it's gonna slide its way all the way out so you can climb out. So moving on to the cargo space, if I go ahead and hold down the button on the key fob, the tailgate is going to automatically lift up. We do have the button on the interior, and there is one back here as well. One thing I love with the X7, and you're going to notice this on the X5 as well, we have a tailgate here. So if I go ahead and press this button, this is going to automatically lower. We do get quite a lot of space back here, even with the third row in use. If I lift this center handle up, we have quite a lot of hidden storage space down here. And then I can remove this storage cover and get it out of the way. We have a lot of controls to this left side to adjust everything. If I press this forward, the second row is going to slide out of the way, and there's also one for the left row. So you can get those two out of the way. And then we have controls right here to get these third rows out of the way as well. The headrest will fold down, and you can see it fold nice and flat. And then with the third row out of the way, you can see just how much storage space we have in the back of the X7. And this is all electronic. I just pressed the button once, and this is gonna even automatically close. And then the last button to take a look at is the Max with the People logo. the front seats will go forward, and the third row is going to get back into place. So I do like how you have single buttons to make this do what you want. And then wrapping it up, we have a button up top. You can just press it once and the liftgate will automatically close. And if the lower one was open, they would both close together. Alright guys, so we are setting off now in the 2022 X7 M50i. So I've been a fan of this SUV when it first came out a few years ago because I just like SUVs and I like the jumbo ones that can fit the whole family. So being in this so far, we have the air ride suspension, I'm in the eco mode. This is extremely luxurious and it better feel like that for a six-figure family SUV. But being in here right now, I don't think I could get more comfortable. It is so soft riding, these seats feel amazing. I love all the different controls, and even when you touch the different controls on the seat, it comes up on the screen here with the controls that you're actually touching, just to give you a better way to use them. The armrests are in a great place, headrest is super comfortable as well, and everything just feels really high quality and premium. But for normal driving, very nice vehicle to be in, definitely no complaints, there's no noise made. I mean, this is as quiet as they come. It's kind of like a baby Rolls Royce Cullinan, which kind of makes some sense, but really cool to be in. It's got the lane keeping assist, all the technology just to be a fully loaded, luxurious vehicle. So I definitely like that quite a bit. I'm not sure why this is not touchscreen. I guess for 2022, they've taken a few things out just to help with production. But let's go ahead and put us into manual and then sport mode. We'll feel out the paddle shifters and see what this SUV is like out on some twisty turns. So already throttle response is a lot sharper and you can hear the engine. Wow, we have a monstrous V8 and it sounds like a beast. And I am just barely on the gas. That is nuts how crazy this thing already sounds. The suspension is already much more firm and the steering is a little bit heavier. Now this is a huge SUV, so we still get some body roll. You know, I wouldn't want to throw this into a turn too fast because it still is a really big vehicle, very tall center of gravity and things like that. But nonetheless, though, you can feel the performance in it. You know, BMW does a good job making their vehicles have that performance feel, and that's one thing I've noticed. They might not be as tech savvy as a Mercedes and have all the luxuries, but they have everything you need, but they get that performance drive. Wow. That propels you up to speed pretty darn quickly. I can't imagine taking this out on the highway, just ripping it up to some speed. You wouldn't expect that for such a big vehicle. Normally they save that kind of performance for the X5 sizing of vehicles, but I like with BMW, of course, they're gonna throw that M50i pedigree right into the big boy, the X7. And then even taking some turns, it still feels nice and composed. I mean, they do a good job with the suspension. Wow, very impressive. You can take all the kids to soccer practice or to school and then actually have some fun on your way there driving. So I like how BMW has made it to where you can get that full-size SUV and you don't sacrifice. I've driven, of course, all the other brands that are like this sizing, and they're just big boats. They really are. BMW, though, this feels a little bit lighter on its toes, a little bit more playful and fun. And the fact that you had that sound, that is a nice little touch. A lot of gears to go through being an 8-speed. Goodness, and I'm not going crazy on the accelerator being a brand new car, but you hit the gas and it throws you back in the seat. You do not expect that in such a big vehicle. That is awesome. And if I go back into comfort and automatic, the whole thing tones down, it's quiet. That is just nice to do. And even if we are in this mode, if I give it some gas, it just propels you up to speed. Wow, that is one quick family SUV. And then wrapping it up, doing the POV now in the X7. Really nice interior, like I've already mentioned. Really good view out. You can see the hood and everything. And then looking over, not really any blind spots. You have quite a lot of glass. Mirrors all do a really good job. So it's a nice, comfortable car. You could daily drive this all day long. I don't see any issues with that. More technology and all that good stuff that you need. Just be in a nice, pleasant family SUV. Very quiet in this driving mode and eco. Go ahead and leave it in manual and go right into sport mode. I mean, that just sounds so meaty in here. That's super impressive how such a large SUV can drive kind of like a sports car. It still is big, you know, it's not a M3 or anything, but very impressive vehicle to cruise in. Loving the sound. And then going into a sharper turn, pretty darn planted. The all drive helps you pull out of that sharp turn as well with the power plant. So nice, pleasant vehicle to cruise in. And then this crystal looks really nice on the shifter. That's a nice little touch, and it even is illuminated for the X logo. I did not notice that earlier. So I think that's about it then for the X7 M50i. Huge shout out and thank you once again to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this vehicle for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and definitely check out their website in the description. But that is it, guys. I will see you in the next video.